Lucy Stowe of Hatteras explains how she became a weather observer at the Hatteras Weather Bureau. Amy Glass interviewed Ms. Stowe in 1988 for the Southern Oral History program. The Outer Banks Community Foundation provided funds to digitize the original recording.
World War II was just getting underway. Well, I came back in 42. It was getting underway, and I saw an application. I didn't really know what I wanted to do, but they needed some weather observers, and they had a training school of 6 weeks in Atlanta, Georgia. It was with civil service, of course. I thought that might be nice to go to Atlanta, Georgia, and see what that was like. So I sent in an application, and then I had to take a civil service examination, pass that. But instead of getting to Atlanta, Georgia, they put me right on the weather station here at Hatteras. Gave me about a week's training, said you're a weather observer. So I haven't been to Atlanta yet, only to fly through the airport, go in, change planes, and take off again. But that was the way I ended up working for the Weather Service. I didn't know what I wanted to do, so I thought it would be good to go to Atlanta. And it was interesting work, so I stuck with it.
What was the training week like? Who trained you?
Well, one that was working at the time, and I think they said this is a thermometer, and that's a barometer, and this is a barograph, and you read them every hour. It was very simple in it then, and I was lucky. The next year we put in something they called pilot balloons. That was releasing helium-filled balloons and tracking it with a theodolite and getting the wind direction and velocity aloft. And then maybe the next year they put in radio sondes. That was, you sent a radio instrument up on a balloon. But each thing they added, I sort of grew along with it and learned as we were getting it. Because in the early 40s, reporting weather was still rather primitive. So I was in right about at the time it started changing. And then after World War II, when radar, that is really what changed the ways of reporting weather. That was a big jump forward.
Were there many women in the weather service at that time?
I didn't know it at the time, but there were none until the war started and most of the men were gone, and then they took a few in. And then after the war, most of them got out. There were a few of us left. 2 up in Norfolk stayed in, and 1 or 2 down in Charleston. But for the most part, a lot of them went on back. I guess they married or moved on to something else. But now there's more and more women getting in it.